Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Behind the Brand podcast with myself. My name is Curtis and I am the host, and this is recorded right here in Studio 23 in Renfrew. But today I have a brand new guest in the hot seat. We have the lovely Megan, the
Hello.
owner of The Core Factory. How are you?
I'm good.
How's things?
I've got a bit of a cold.
Just stay that side of the table.
Okay.
Is everything all right?
Everything's going great. I'm
a busy day.
Working hard.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, a busy day for you obviously as well. You were actually taking a class before this, I'm guessing, yeah.
I was teaching a Pilates class, and I started coughing when I was doing roll-ups and
Oh, I've never done Pilates, so I don't know. Rebecca will be like the expert on that, to be fair.
doing various shapes and trying to speak and cough quietly.
Not very peaceful and relaxing for the rest.
Really.
No, definitely not. Well, while you're here, let's find out a wee bit more about you. So if you can even give me a wee description of who you are, please.
Okay. So I am a yoga and Pilates teacher, massage therapist, and nearly qualified physiotherapist at the time this goes out. So hopefully in the next month or so I will be completely qualified. So I have a little business here in Startup Street called The Core Factory in Renfrew. And from that space I do one-to-one Pilates, one-to-one yoga, holistic therapies, manual therapies. And yeah, that's me.
How did you become involved in that, from the start? What made you get into that? Was there something that you happened to go to one day and you were like, wow, I really like that, I want to get involved in that kind of thing?
So I was working in an office. I was in Sydney at the time, and the office I worked in had a yoga teacher who worked there, and the yoga teacher offered lunchtime yoga classes, and I'd never practiced yoga before, and I went along and just felt absolutely amazing after the class. And at the same time started watching what Madonna was doing. She was practicing yoga, she was doing Pilates. Of course, child of the 80s and 90s, really into Madonna. So I followed what she was doing, went to a Pilates class, loved it, felt tall, felt amazing, felt thin. Even though I wasn't, I felt like I was. And it occurred to me that sometimes fitness isn't always fitness. Sometimes it's movement related as well. That can make you feel every bit as good as lifting weights. And that's how I started.
That's brilliant. So obviously with the services, it'd be interesting to know how many services that you offer. I've had a look for your website and I've had a look obviously for your socials as well. But for those listening, maybe interested to be a bit more, digging a wee bit deeper, could you even go through the full services, what you do, and even give us a description of what you do as well, with each of the services?
I think basically anything that helps people deal with chronic pain and move more easily and move more freely without pain. That's the overall broad brush of what I do. And within that, it really depends what people want. So some people like hands-on therapy, they have had massage or reflexology or aromatherapy, and it works really well for them. They find that it breaks through the pain for them and they can move more easily after that. Some people have a specific need. They want to work on something, want to get more flexible, or they find there's some areas of stiffness, and for them they might want to do a one-to-one Pilates or yoga session with me. Sometimes I do a combination of both. So I'll do a bit of soft tissue work, a bit of massage, and then get people moving. It really comes down to the person. It's as individual as everyone that comes to see me.
And it is, because I can vouch for that. I've actually seen Megan. I went in with a problem, and Megan was actually able to identify that the problem that I thought I was having wasn't the problem. And I must say it did work, because I haven't come back since. I'm feeling much better.
That's good.
Much more moved. And obviously you gave me tips and stuff like that as well, which was really, really handy, I think, as well. And that's something I think that you offer really well. And I love your room. It's so nice. It's cozy. It's really, really nice. Did you think when you were moving into, obviously we're in the Startup Street, you're a neighbour, just literally right down the hall from me. Did you think moving in, how you wanted your room to look, the setup wise, and how it would be, comforting for people to go in?
Yeah, there was a lot of chat with me with people I knew saying, look, it needs to be clinical. And I thought, well, why does it need to be clinical? Why can't it feel like a sanctuary and feel safe and warm? And I love growing things because I feel it's a metaphor for things improving. So you can have a garden and it changes from year to year. It starts off not looking that great, but it improves each year, year by year. And why shouldn't your movement improve year by year, in the same way your garden does. So I've got lots of plants, and I blame Aldi and Renfrew for that, and Rachel. I go to Aldi.
She loves a plant.
I know, and every time I go,
I've got one, to be fair.
Have you?
It's behind you. It's just I worry that it's dead, but don't forget this.
No, it looks absolutely fine.
That's fine.
But you know, like, plants are part of that part of the process of reminding us that things can change, and they just need a little bit of care. They don't need lots and lots. A little bit of care day by day, and they do well. So do we.
I panic. I've never had this much responsibility in my life. I don't have like any kids or anything to look after.
Plant
just
parent.
Plant parent. People have their dogs, their cats. I'm a plant parent.
What's your plant called?
I actually haven't given it a name. That's really, really bad. I know that is
bad.
Terrible. Well, maybe we could come up with a name. I don't know. While we're here, I don't know. What could we call it? Core? We'll call it Core.
We could put it out to the audience.
Well, that's it. Well, if you're listening and
win a massage name, Curtis's plant.
There you go. Sponsored podcast. There you go. Name the plant. Yeah, I mean, maybe get a free massage. You never know. Oh, amazing. So, like, with the services we were talking about, is it 1-to-1? Do you do classes? Is it online? Like, what is your kind of go-to when you're doing that? I know it could be personal, depending on the client and stuff.
Mostly 1-to-1 and in person, but I do telehealth, so I do online sessions. I have a few people post-surgery who are too far away to come in, or they don't feel well enough, and I can work with them online. I do like to have an in-depth conversation with someone first, so that I know what's going on for them. So I'd like to do a consultation, which usually lasts about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. The longest consultation was 1 hour and 3/4. But like you, the person that came in didn't need to come back. They felt better after that session. But I think that was because we took such a detailed history. I can do online classes, and I do an online restorative yoga class. It's not my preferred way of working. I prefer to actually see how people move, and you don't get that online. But that said, people who have worked with me can do online classes with me. I'm going to be running out, hopefully with your help, some online classes for people specifically that have worked with me. I prefer doing it that way than someone I've never met before, because I don't know what you can do if I'd never met you. So I'd always prefer to have a consultation of some sort.
Yeah, I would say that was one of the nice things I think you did when obviously I went for my consultation, was that you actually took the time. It wasn't just like a one job fix all. Like, you didn't just do the whole, like, give me a massage and sort of stuff, and basically being like, right, there you go, that's
cheerio.
Yeah, cheerio, see you later, thanks very much. But you were really, really, like, hands-on. Is that a good word to say? Yeah, I mean, you're really hands-on. Yeah. You really took the time to actually find out for me what was causing me the problems that I was having, dug a wee bit into the history of what I do and things like that. And I know there's people out there that go, that's what I do, but I'm just saying from experience, I mean, that was one of the best consultations I had, because you took the time, you did what it was, and like you say, what you said to me was, this should be good enough that you don't have to come back to me, and it has worked. So I haven't had to come back to you since. So I'm just like, it does tick box, you know what I mean? You've ticked the box right there for me anyway, and I can vouch, obviously, as somebody that's used you, for example, that yes, it does work, 100%.
Sometimes people do have to come back, and I'm not going to stop people from coming back. It's just, it's not my business model to continue to have people coming back when they don't need to. And some of my clients have come in for 4 or 5 sessions and then said, look, is it all right if I go and do this on my own? I'm like, absolutely. At any point you need to. But a lot of the time people come to my other classes. So I do in-person classes at various places around Renfrewshire, but I don't have the time to give people that individual attention. But if they've come to me, they can come back if they feel they need to, or they can come to my classes and they've still got my teaching in their ear, hopefully, if they go to someone else's class. And
can anybody just turn up to the class? Like, did they have to book into anything? Do you have a booking system or something for that?
Do you have a booking system? At the moment, it's kind of a wee bit hit or miss, because I'm on placement on and off, and I don't want to sort of put my diary open. So at the moment, probably best to contact me through my email address, but that is something that you could probably put in the comments below.
You can also say it as well, yeah.
My email address is info@thecorefactory in I saw it. It's info@thecorefactory.com. There you go. You can also find me on Instagram @thecorefactory in Renfrew. It'd help if I knew where I was, right?
It will be. Links will be down below. Please do not worry. They'll be down below. If you're listening on YouTube, they'll be down below. Yes. And everywhere else, you'll be tagged and everything.
Tagged and
no
geolocated.
Yes. We'll have like wee pinpoints where you are exactly.
Arrows.
So let's even talk about obviously the start. We talked about the consultation process and things like that, how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you would do in the process when you have someone in, like what you would do with them? Obviously, I know from first-hand experience what you do and things like that, but I mean, again, it depends obviously what somebody's coming to you with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, is there anything you would take a different approach for people, or something you would do differently, or?
I usually, I've got this one question that I ask people, and I say to them, I hope I said it to you. If I could wave a magic wand, how do you want to feel when you leave?
Yeah, you did.
Did I say
Definitely
that?
Did say that.
And I'd probably just say it with everybody, because I think it's a fairly good rule of thumb. I mean, you're going to see someone for a reason, and a lot of the time, if you go and see professionals, they go, "Okay, you're coming in, so I'm going to do this with you because this is what I do." And I have got things that I can do to help people feel better, but until I know what it is you want, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. So I can, generally speaking, say that somebody who's got pain wants not to be in pain, but what will improve that pain? It might be massage. It might be one person that came in, it was reflexology. They were a runner and they said, "Oh, I've got this terrible plantar fasciitis." And so we chatted about it, and I said, "Well, how about I just do some work on your feet?" Which was basically a clinical reflexology. I do it as a manipulation just to see how the joints and the muscles and the tendons are working in the feet. But that was basically it. It was a reflexology. And then we did some exercises for the client's feet. And I'm hoping, touch wood or not the mic, that the client's feeling better. But I check in 24 hours.
Yep.
And then thereafter, and obviously, I'm going, "How are you? Are you okay?"
Yep, even when we
right?
bump each other, like, I mean, out getting a drink or something, I go to the kitchen.
Are you feeling all right?
"How are you doing? How are you feeling? Everything all right?" I'm like, yes, yes, please don't worry.
It's more about just checking in with
it's
people.
It's not pressure filled, like, she's not
No.
putting any pressure on me to, like, basically be like, "There's something wrong when we come back." No, I mean,
Well,
there's
it's just
nothing
good.
like that at all.
It's good to know, and because we don't always tell people when we're not feeling great, do we?
Well, Rebecca will tell you my house that I will tell her that everything I'm not well. But yes, no, 100%. A lot of people are not want to put their problems on other people as such. You know what I mean? And that's something that people should get over. I mean, if you do have a problem, you should definitely get it seen to. And not everything can be fixed by medicine and things like that. So, like, these things I think are always great to go to. You know what I mean?
And I think people have fallen into two camps going, "I've just put up with it this long. I'm not as bad as X who's got cancer and has had both legs amputated." And you go, that's kind of an extreme example. But people tend to go, "Well, it's not that bad," but then it gets worse because our body systems aren't really designed to deal with long-term chronic stress and pain. And eventually something will go wrong. And for most of us, the long-term chronic stress and pain can lead to other diseases. So it's better to find ways that we can move and breathe more easily and be pain-free so that we can have the best life that we possibly can.
There you go, folks. Don't leave it too long. As you say, there is repercussions. That is the right word. If I've just pronounced that wrong, apologies. This is something I do. It's like a whole thing. I can make a blooper reel out of things I say wrong. But yes, there is. I mean, you leave it too long, it could get worse.
Absolutely. Stress is the biggest killer.
Oh yeah, massive.
And it shows up in your body in ways you don't know. So your posture when you're seated at work, most people sit like this, and that yeah, I know. I hate to say this. I hate to say this, but I think the very first time we did meeting here, we were like, "We're just sitting straighter now." But it's not as simple as that, because it could be that you're sleeping then in that position like this or whatever. But if you're not aware of it, you can't do anything about it.
Just wondering if you've seen me sleep.
Rebecca sent me a picture.
So bad.
They crawl into.
Do you know what? She would send a picture just so she can get it back at me or something like that. She would.
Use it for a next consultation.
This is what not to do. This is that. I'd be that example. I would be that one. I'd be that one person.
The question is, do you wake up feeling better or worse in the morning? And that's a good sign, isn't it?
Well, that is it. To be fair, I walk out and I'm got to be hunchback because I'm walking out in my shower, and I'm like, I was trying to front of the mirror and try and stretch for a bit, but I do try and stretch as much as I can. As much as if I do start to feel like, you know what I mean, a wee pain here or there or whatever, I do try and stretch as well, because that was something that you did give, was obviously exercises
Keep
as well.
moving.
So, and obviously biggest catchphrase, keep moving as
Keep
well,
moving.
which is the main
That's it.
thing. Because I do like with this sort of stuff as well, and it's quite funny that I do sit behind the desk. Like I work behind the desk as well, like pretty much all day. Even when I get home, if I'm on my laptop, I'm there. I'm like this, but you're so self-conscious to it, and you know that you're doing it, so they're constantly doing like this. I'm trying to fix myself, and that's probably not a flattering angle if you've seen that from the way I did that. Really, apologies. I'm working on myself.
Well, you know, even just seeing yourselves, if you see yourself and you catch a glimpse of yourself, and you can sort of see, I look at myself in videos and one shoulder's higher than the other, and I can feel these imbalances in myself, but unless I do something about it, it's not going to change.
Aye. Well, you are the person to see about that, definitely, and I feel like you can help with change as well. I can see. Megan has those magic eyes. She's got eyes in the back of her head as well. So if you think she's not watching you, well, she's like doing a wee bit.
She's doing the side eye,
bombastic side eye. She's watching, definitely. She's definitely watching. I think as well, like we were kind of talking about it off camera there, and there's a lot of people that don't believe in this sort of stuff. They just point blank refuse to go to anything like this. What would you have any words of encouragement to do it? I know you were quite thinking with saying that you can't really force anybody to do this. You know what I mean? Like, do you have any words that, you know what I mean? You've just said it there as well. You know what I mean, with the illness and like leaving it for so long as well, and if you don't do it, it becomes worse. But I'm just intrigued how you view that as well. Like,
I guess it comes down to, do you think you can get better, or do you not? And if you say to yourself, I'm not going to get better, some people just won't. So it comes down to, again, the plants, looking after yourself. And if you think that you're important enough to look after, then you can improve. And it doesn't matter what condition you have. You could have a very life-limiting condition, but you can still have a good life. Or you can have aches and pains and let them get through to you, so that you use medication, or you keep going and getting painkilling injections or steroid injections, and there's only a limit to what that can do for you. The evidence shows 100% that continuing to move is your best medication, whatever that movement looks like for you. Even if you are confined to a wheelchair, you can still move, you can still do exercise.
Yep.
And movement will make you feel better, 100%. I guarantee it. So it's what, do you want to get better or not?
And things. I mean, just you talking about them. So there is definitely that. So again, if you're listening to this and you think, well, how can I move? You know what I mean? I am stuck to this chair. I mean, again, Megan's your go-to. I mean, you've just heard exactly the things. There is things there that you can do to improve
always
your everyday life there, which is amazing.
Yep.
So one thing you probably didn't say was, like, where do you do your classes? Like, how do we find you? Like, if I want to come to a class, where am I going?
Well, get in touch with me, and I do office classes. So I've done work for TV companies, and when I was in Sydney, I used to do group classes at the Sydney Opera House, for example.
Wow.
So I've done group classes. I'll come to your office. I'll come to your office either in person, or I can do it online. I prefer in person, so you can get in touch with me. You can find me at David Lloyd in Renfrew. You can find me at JD Gyms in Renfrew. You can find me at Xena Fitness on Tuesday evenings. I'm at One Ren on Saturday mornings. But if you're not sure, have a look at my Instagram. I put my classes up there.
You are super busy.
I'm really busy.
How do you have the time?
I don't know. Maybe there's two of me. I haven't looked.
You got a clone that you've just not told anybody
I
about?
wish I could get them together so I could get them do my washing. I know, it'd be good.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Well, honestly, thanks so much for coming on and even having a chat with me.
Okay,
it's been in the making, definitely, for a wee while. We've been trying to get this organised for a wee while.
Thank
we
you.
finally got it.
We did. Go us.
The last wee thing I just need you to do is I just need you to tell the lovely people where we can find you on social medias. I know you touched on it, but let's
Okay, so
let's get them told again, because you might have missed it the first time. So
okay, so I am on Instagram, the Core Factory in Renfrew, and I am on Facebook, the Core Factory, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Megan McGregor. But if you search for me, McGregor, MacGregor, and my website is www.thecorefactory.com.
There you go, folks. There you go. So if you are looking to get in touch with the Core Factory, now you know exactly where to do it. As we say, we'll put all the links and things in the description below, so you can find Megan on all of our social media platforms. Get along to one of our classes. Definitely get in touch with her. Give her a private message. She'll get you booked in. And I promise you that it will help, whether you think it doesn't help or not. All right. But thanks so much, Megan.
We still have to name the plant.
Oh, yes, right, that's right. Well, that's it. Leave your comment, name the plant.
Win a session.
That's it. There you go. Win a session. Sponsored. Not my sponsored. But listen, thanks so much for listening, folks. If you have been listening on YouTube, feel free to give us a subscribe or a like, comment down below. It really does help promote the podcast out, even if you just enjoyed the podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a great laugh. As well as that, we're on Spotify. Again, you can leave, this is something I found out, you can leave questions on that, or answers to questions. So might even pop the plant question on that, see if you can answer that. And there's also 5-star reviews as well that you can leave. I don't think you can leave 0s, 1s, 2s and 3s or 4s.
Just 5s.
It just has to be 5s, unfortunately. So make sure that you give us a 5-star review, 100%.
Thumbs up.
That's it. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, no thumbs downs. We only need thumbs up. But thanks so much, Megan, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Much appreciated. And we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.